Good evening. M.M Out here, over there, everywhere. Now, history was made in 2003 in the general elections of Barbados when the computer's prediction was actually beaten and C.B.C were made to look like fools. Now, election day was 21st of May 2003. Nomination day was the 6th of May 2003. Now, on nomination day, it says, if the confidence of the two St. Lucie candidates is anything to go by, after May 21st, residents of that northern community should have 2 representatives in the House of Assembly. I am very much a product of St. Lucie, Dennis Kelman told the Daily Nation afterwards. For the past 9 years, I have been working very hard on behalf of my people. They have followed my progress in the press. And based on what they have been telling me, they are quite happy. I am quite confident that the people are satisfied. The time has come for me to implement my ideas. The DLP will be winning the next government. Arthur had this to say. That's the opponent, Richard Arthur. Arthur was just as emphatic. I feel very excited because I know we will win this seat. We have put in a lot of groundwork and our team has been excellent. The BLP can rest assured that Team St. Lucie will win this one. On the 6th of May, Kelvin had this to say. I am not afraid of Richard Arthur. St. Lucie candidate for the Democratic Labour Party, Dennis Kelman, is making that abundantly clear. Speaking to the Daily Nation hours after delivering a fiery address at the official launch of the party's campaign at the Lower Green Bus Terminal Sunday night, a confident Kelman emphasized he was ready to take on the 2 Arthurs, Richard and his brother, Prime Minister Owen Arthur, his cousins, in the St. Lucie constituency. Then, on the 9th of May, the BLP, with their usual on-the-hand tactics, had this to say. Remove your name from the voters list for St. Lucie. That was the impassioned plea from Richard Arthur, Barbados Labour Party candidate for that rural constituency, to his cousin and opponent Dennis Kelman. Addressing constituents at Crab Hill on Thursday night from a platform mounted across the street from a Democratic Labour Party branch office and a supermarket previously owned by Kelman, the political newcomer said he was wrongly called an outsider by Kelman. Reading from a piece of paper, Arthur said, the man lives in St. Thomas and he is on the voters list in St. Lucie, registered to vote at Crab Hill. I want the man to be taken off. We need to object to this underhandedness. On the 10th, speaking at a meeting in Church Villa, St. Philip, Dennis Kelman had some stage advice for the Democratic Labour Party supporters. He went like this. Democratic Labour Party candidate Dennis Kelman has called on the party supporters to associate with the image of the Barbados Labour Party founder Sir Grantley Adams. However, he warned that this association should only go as far as accepting the many $100 bills which he claimed are being given away to the BLP by the BLP in an attempt to get support. The $100 bill carries the image of Adams. Kelman, speaking at the DLP political meeting at Church Villa St. Philip Thursday night, told the audience that they should accept any money offered to them by the Barbados Labour Party, then vote for the dear loving people in the DLP. The St. Lucie candidate said a formula had been worked out in that constituency. The formula is very simple. Anything they offer to you is a gift. No giving back. But you don't have to vote for them, he said. On the 18th, speaking in Crab Hill, Dennis Kelman had this to say. The Barbados Labour Party must understand that the Democratic Labour Party, that St. Lucie is Democratic Labour Party territory. Kelman said not only would that parish continue to enjoy first-class cricket, as it did recently with the hosting of the Barbados-Jamaica match, but he was looking forward to hosting Test cricket at the very North Stars grounds as well. On the 19th, speaking at Checker Hall, Dennis Kelman had this to say. DLP and BLP are not the same philosophy. The Barbados Labour Party believes that the only development that can come to St. Lucie is through them. We don't wait on governments to develop St. Lucie. We use social transformation given to us by Alabama in 1960, something called secondary education, to develop ourselves. The people of St. Lucie are independent people, and one of the reasons why the BLP have a problem with us is because they can't get us to depend on them. That and there is the ignorant talk going around. With the DLP, we make you independent people, and the BLP, they create dependency and make you dependent on them. All said and done, election night, C.B.C had an electoral program going on. Even after the votes coming in, the computer predicted that Dennis Kelman would lose. Here is coverage from election night. Dennis Kelman was right from the beginning. Within 10 minutes of returning officer Charles Haynes announcing the first completed box in the St. Lucie race, incumbent Kelman called the seat for himself. This was despite the fact that many pundits had suggested the seat, a Democratic Labour Party stronghold, was the subject of intense canvassing by Prime Minister Owen Arthur on behalf of his brother Richard Arthur. After hearing the tally from box LA1, which he won 335 to BLP Arthur's 246, Kelman told the press by telephone at 10:20 p.m. that if his opponent could not win the district in which his constituency office was located, he could not be able to carry the seat. By 11:15 p.m., when a second set of results was announced, the race was still very close, but Arthur's team was already showing the first signs of a potential loss. Recognizing that the boxes still to be counted were from the eastern part of the constituency, where Kelman's support has always been decisively stronger than any BLP contender. LA2 had been taken by Arthur over Kelman 4-7 to 302. LB2 went 188 for Arthur to Kelman's 146. And LC2 147 for Arthur to Kelman's 115. Just beyond midnight, however, the LD1 box, which had been located at the St. Lucie's Parish Church, was won by Kelman 276 to Arthur's 271. And LD2 at the nearby St. Lucie Primary School 143 Arthur to Kelman's 107. With a couple boxes partially counted, Kelman was at the time leading by 97 votes. The three LE boxes from the east, the DLP's stomping ground, were yet to be declared. So confident was Kelman that he did not wait for the final count. He arrived at the St. Lucie Secondary School at 12:30 and declared himself the winner. Expressing thanks to the people of St. Lucie, Kelman described the win as a clear message that they understood the issues and told them that had his party completed the equation, they would have won the government. The result has shown there is no east and west difference, that St. Lucie has consolidated into the St. Lucie connection, he said. This is the one everybody saw as special. I saw it as special because I saw myself as the only one in Barbados who had to face two brothers. I was isolated on a sense where they cut off the rest of Barbados from us, and I had to fight in the north alone, and we won. I will regard this as the most significant victory in this election. When the final boxes came in, Kelman creamed Arthur 3,198 to 2,330, the highest of his three victories. That was a good half of an hour after he had declared himself winner. Computer was beaten, defeated, and made to look like fools. That's it. M.M Out There. That's it for now. Bye. Gone.